In the skies above the east, reports of mysterious drones.
Look, guys, there's one there, one there, one there.
Turning into thousands of posts going viral online.
Coming in one after one.
With people from coast to coast now spending a lot more time looking up and pointing their cameras into the night.
This is bizarre. There's more over there, look.
Some could be optical illusions, planes that seem closer than they are.
You can hear that one. That is definitely a plane.
But others have defied normal explanation.
What the f?
Car-sized drones operating for hours in restricted airspace and able to elude local law enforcement when they send their own drones up to give chase. In New Jersey, the Army reporting the Picatinny Arsenal has had 11 unauthorized drone incursions in the last month.
Look what's back again. Same spot as last night.
21 local mayors now demanding answers from the state.
The minute you get eyes on them, they go dark. This is something we're taking deadly seriously.
The entire month before that, it was nightly drone incursions over Langley Air Force Base.
Let's just start with current events.
Today, a congressional hearing on Capitol Hill on the national security threat drones pose.
What is going on in New Jersey?
We're investigating, but I don't have an answer of who's responsible for that, of one or more people that are responsible for those drone flights.
But for those who see them on a nightly basis...
Not a plane. That is a drone in the airspace.
The drones are a very real reminder.
Almost hear a little bit of a hum.
That our airspace...
It's a very little thermal signature.
...is not as secure as we might hope.
All right, so there's a big difference between me going outside or someone else going outside that doesn't really have training and looking up, and those cops that went outside and were looking up, and then a mayor of Mine Hill Township, Sam Morris, who went outside as well, and he saw something weird. Mayor Morris, thanks so much for being with us. Can you walk us through exactly what you've seen in your skies and what's being done about it?
Sure. You know, of course, I was aware of this issue, but last Tuesday night it kind of came full force into my life with a resident who I know well, lives a block from me, reported to me that there were 8 drones over our school and municipal complex, which are on the same block. So I got in my car and I went around there. And by the time I got around here, they were not overhead anymore. So I went into, there's a field behind our town hall that has a lot less light pollution. It's a park. And when I went in there, I could see a series of, it was like a stationary drone. It was sitting still and 3 drones going back and forth in a north-south pattern. They would go to the north a certain distance, stop and turn back around. Almost like somebody farming a field or, you know, something like that. And that's what really got me a little hyper-focused on all this because I saw it personally and videoed it personally.
So you saw it. Were you able to kind of track them? How big did they look? How fast were they moving? Any details there?
Well, they aren't, you know, when they're doing whatever they're doing, they aren't really moving particularly fast. They're, you know, I can't estimate speed, but they're not like, oh man, that was rocketing across the sky. They're going very methodically with a plan. And you can see that. You can see that they aren't just whizzing around, you know. There are people that have drones and they just fly willy-nilly, so to speak. These are very methodical in their flight path, and it looks very planned.
It looks very planned, and, you know, in certain places it is very illegal, especially Picatinny Arsenal is very close to you. You've got Bedminster also out there in New Jersey.
Yep.
There are TFRs. Some of them are over airports, just hovering there. You'd think that if, like, it's illegal and someone is breaking the law, the cops or some authority would be able to go out there and very quickly figure out who's doing this. Has that been the case at all?
No, there's a lot of rules on that, but we got to be a little bit, after watching Robert Wheeler's testimony today, I'm kind of fed up. And I'm part of that group of mayors that authored a pair of letters on Sunday, trying to bring more focus to this. And we did. I genuinely think it's time to start harvesting drones and stop worrying about the rules. Whoever's running these drones, they're not worrying about the rules. They're using the rules against us. And that's always, you know, it happens in a civilized society. But whatever they're doing, they don't care what the rules are. They're 11 drones. It's been admitted now. 11 drones have gone over Picatinny Arsenal, which is about 5 miles from here in a direct line. Those drones should have been blown out of the sky. Why are we putting up with this? Why are we putting up with this?
You're not talking about like the TFR temporary flight restriction rules. You're talking about literally just blasting them out of the sky.
They have Picatinny Arsenal is a weapons development center. Okay, it's a high-tech place. It's in a rural area, it's beautiful, but it's a high-tech place. If you're the bad guys, you want to know what's going on at Picatinny. They went into Picatinny's airspace. That's a violation of the law. It has to be. I don't have the chapter and verse of the U.S. Code, but if I did that and they came back and tracked that I put a drone over, or an average person, somebody put a drone over, we'd be in big federal trouble. I don't know why they even put up with letting them go over like that. And then I understand Langley and then several other bases in New Jersey, they're doing that. What I don't really understand is the testimony from the FBI today. He said, well, the FAA has rules about what we can do and how we can engage these drones. Well, what is the FAA going to come and arrest the FBI if they take care of a little business? I mean, give me a break. These things can be brought down, and I've been saying this all week. These drones have a battery life. They have to come back to the Earth at some point, and somebody's controlling them. Just follow them to where they're going. Now, I know they're saying, oh, they go dark. Well, we have high tech. We have night vision. We have tracking devices. We can track onto one of these drones in a helicopter and follow it anywhere it goes. Even if it goes dark, you can follow it. So we have extreme technology in our military. They need to go do that. We need to get to the bottom of this, because what my residents are reporting to me, and all the other mayors in all the other counties in Jersey are reporting to them, they don't feel comfortable or safe with people over their head who are not regulated. Everybody knows a plane's going to go by, everything like that. But this has gotten ridiculous. And this testimony today was horrible, horrible.
And Mr. Mayor, one question. Is there a chance that this is something from Picatinny or something that the U.S. military is testing that they may not want to share? Or have you been assured?
Well,
nope,
sure,
that's not the
right?
case?
The guy in my position doesn't know any of that. And unfortunately, residents think, because you're the mayor, you know everything. Right? Oh, you really know. You really don't. We're really befuddled. But I can tell you, Picatinny's close enough to hear that a lot of people, Picatinny, they've been going around Picatinny looking. That was for one of the first instincts was, they're coming out of Picatinny and going back in there. And people then have said, I went and sat near Picatinny at night. I sat in the park near there. I sat on a road near there. There's no activity. These drones pop out around 5:30 and they go till 11 or midnight. They're not hiding themselves. They're out when people are out, and they're not around that military base in a volume, that anybody's picked up on.
Yeah, the lights on those drones continues to just baffle my mind. If you're being, nefarious, why would you have lights? Or are you trying to spy? You have red and green lights that are just very.
If I could share with you, there was one in Mine Hill that I think it was Sunday. I think it was Thursday night of last week. A lady called me about it. It was just sitting. I don't know how far, but let's go with a quarter mile from my house. And I videoed it, but it came out grainy. But I watched it with my own eyes. Red, green, red, green, red, green. And it was sitting perfectly still. No plane. And it was, 200-300 feet up. And it just sat there. We don't know what it was doing, but it just sat there. So this is definitely by plan. It's just a matter of whose plan. And I think we need to get our hands on a few. And if they need to get a court order to do it, the FBI needs to go get a court order to do it. But enough of this. There's enough of this for everybody.
Mayor, thank you so much for joining us, speaking
the truth
that a lot of people want to hear. Mayor, thanks.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.